Okay, everybody. I am Amin Ra, Amin Mojara, and I haven't made a YouTube video series in a long time. But some recent personal events have happened in my life that have inspired me to go ahead and I think to start to make the most consequential series that I've ever made. And there are a lot of series out here. What I'm about to on the subject that I'm about to make these videos on, but I guess I'm just going to give my flavor on it. And that is, of course, as you see on your screen, React, which is the most popular framework on the earth. Instagram, Facebook, Airbnb, Uber, just a lot of sites are built on React.JS. And I just think that this framework is so wonderful that I just want everybody to know it. And so I'm going to start from scratch on first setting yourself up on your development environment. And I'm basing this on you building React applications either on a Linux machine or on a Mac, because they're both Unix machines. And I'll go into later on why that's important. But let's go ahead and jump in. So this is the React homepage. So this is where you get all your documentation. This is where you can download the library, all of that. This is what we're going to use to create a React app, because it is a web application, and we'll go into modern day web applications and alternatives to React. But first, let's just get set up. I like to always just dive into how do you get yourself set up. So there are some prerequisites. You're going to need Node.js. Let me open that up. I should have opened that up. That's the first thing you're going to need. Node.js is 10 years old now. It was created by some developers, some engineers at Google. And basically, if you've ever done front-end development, you can write JavaScript on the client side and you can write JavaScript on the server side. And I do preface that this series is more for those who are familiar with development, web development, or what we call full stack application development, which is what I just described, writing JavaScript for the browser and then writing JavaScript on the server. So, and as you can see, it tells you it uses Chrome's V8 engine, which that V8 engine is powers Chrome and Safari. So, but we're not going to really get into that. So you're going to need Node.js, and there's a couple of ways to install it. You can install it here by downloading I would say download the LTS version, an LTS version. And you can either go to other downloads and, download that, but definitely download the long-term support version, so that you can stay up with it. I don't advise downloading the current version, because Node is updated almost every 6 weeks. So, and as you can see, they're on 12.16.6. So version 12 is an LTS version. If you want to see I clicked on the wrong link, but here's the long-term support schedule, and this will tell you about all the versions. So basically, 12 is going to be supported until 2022, and this one in version 10 is going to be supported to 2021. So definitely, again, definitely get the long-term support. And again, they go into how these are maintained. So being that said, I always encourage you to download and install the LTS support. So you can either do it this way, or if you're on a Mac, and on Linux machines it's a little bit different, and I will do a tutorial on Linux eventually on Ubuntu. But you can also use Homebrew. So you can use Homebrew to install Node. Just copy this to install Homebrew in your terminal. So I guess that segues into the other requirement that you need, is a terminal. And you get your terminal if you're on your Mac. Just go open up your applications, go to your utilities, and your terminal should be in here. But I dragged it to my dock bar. If you're on Linux, just you should be able to navigate to your terminal. And then, like I said, just copy this and paste this in here to install Homebrew. I already have it installed, so I don't need to do anything. Also, if you want to make your terminal look like this, you can go up to Preferences. I have mine's on Pro, and I have this color scheme, so you can customize it. But in order to get the colorization of your what's the name, what you want to do is create a bash profile. And in that bash profile, I have a snippet here, which I'm going to attach to this video, where you can place this bash script to colorize your thing. So let me show you how to create a bash profile. You type in either touch.bash_profile and then hit return. I've already done this. Or you do nano.bash_profile, and after you do the touch, it's going to actually create the file, but then you have to use nano, which actually shortens it. So you can do touch first, or you can just skip touch and you just do nano.bash_profile, and you should be able to get into here. Now, before we get into this, some of you may on some of these commands have to do sudo nano.bash_profile. Sudo means super user do. It depending on how your Mac or Linux machine is set up, but basically all you do is just going to require a password in order to open it up. I have my Mac set up where I don't have to do that, so I'm going to just go that.bash profile. I copy this whole script right here. Just right click and then paste it all in here. And then what you want to do is you want to hit Control X, and then it'll ask you then Y, and then hit enter. So actually, let me just go ahead and delete everything in there so that you guys can actually see it. Control, erase everything in here. So as you can see, it's asking me if I want to save. So I hit Control X and then Y and then enter. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, and I am going to paste this whole script in here. Paste this whole script in here. Now, before I do that, let me show you what happens when I quit my terminal. So now it's not colorized, and it has all kinds of other things that's not good. But all I have to do is do my nano bash profile, paste that in, hit Control X, yes, and okay, I'm good. So, and if you wanna, like, if it gets to the point where your terminal is like boom, 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 and you're all the way down here, and you want to get it back to the top of the screen, just hit Control L, and that'll do it. And there's two ways that you can restart your terminal. You can go source.bash_profile, hit tab to do tab completion, and boom, I'm back where I'm at. Or you can just close out of it and open it up again. Boom. So, and on newer Macs, you might have this problem. So you see this right here. Mac is now defaulting to Zen. You're not going to see this colorization if you're in the Zen shell, in the Zen shell. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and copy this right here, paste this, and change this to Bash right here. Now, it's not going to do anything for me because I'm already at Bash. So put in my my password for my computer. All right. Let me put in my password. So, I mean, there's no changes made because I already have this as my bash shell, and you have to have it as your bash shell. The other way that you can do it, if you want to do it the non-shell way, is to go into your users, unlock your user account. I'm an admin on this computer. Put in your password. Right click, go to advanced options, and you can change your shell right here. These are all the shells that are on your computer, but I use bash. I know this works with bash, so that's the other way that you can do it also. So now with that being said, now that you understand the shell, and I'm a person that does and teach as we go. So I don't want you guys to be intimidated by the terminal, because it is the easiest thing. It's the easiest way to control your computer. So I'm not even gonna get into that. So let's keep going. So we're gonna install Node. Now, like I said, there's two ways. There's the brew way to install Node, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to do this. So you copy that brew script into here. I already have brew installed. So if I go brew, it is gonna show me everything with brew. So all you have to do is just type brew. But if I just wanted to install Node, I just go brew install Node, and it will install Node for me. Updating homebrew. And brew is a package manager for Mac, and also Linux, depending on what system you're operating in. You're going to either be using apt-get or yum, or I think it's I forget what the new Fedora command is, but Unix systems use package managers, and it's the easiest way to install what's the name? And so to install software. Also, as you can see, it gives you instructions on how to get with Node. So if I know I have Node installed, if I type in Node-v, well, I think I might have to restart my shell. So Node-v, I guess not. So there's some. I don't use homebrew to install Node, but just type in how to install Node using homebrew. I don't do that, so I'm actually going to uninstall Node using a homebrew because this is not my preferred way of doing this. So I'm going to go brew uninstall Node because I don't like installing Node this way. So I spelled it wrong. Uninstall Node. So yeah, so it's been uninstalled, as you can see. I couldn't type it before anyway. So there's a combination of ways that I like to install Node. I like to install Node from actually Node.js. So I'm going to download the current version of Node to my downloads folder. So I'm just going to go Node.js download, and then I'm going to open up the package. And I'm going to go ahead and install, keep going. I got a fingerprint stuff going on right here. So boom. So either you put in your password if you need to put in your password, and then I am done. So Node is installed, remove that. I'm going to close my terminal. I am going to open it up again, and I'm going to go Node-v. And as you can see, I got Node installed. That's the system Node. I want to have a core current version of Node on my system. But if I need to switch between versions, I need to have a way to switch between versions of Node, just because there are applications that are developed using different versions of Node. So what I want to do is, that's removing it. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and go and type in NVM in Google. And you want to go and use the Node version manager. This first link that comes up, using the Node version manager, and just come down to the first thing that you see. Now you can either use curl or apt-get, and I'm going to use curl. Just copy this first thing and just paste it into your terminal. Hit return. And boom, NVM is installed. Now, the thing you have to do is, if I scroll up, you make sure that this is in your bash profile before you restart your terminal. So just in order to see your whole bash profile, just go cat.bash_profile. And as you can see, it's here at the bottom of the bash profile. So along with the script that I pasted in. So boom. So we got that in there. So I can just close this out, and then I can open it back up. And I'm using Command Q to close out my things. If you're on a Mac, you know that. So now if I type in NVM, I should see all the commands for the Node version manager. Now, how the Node version manager works is that if I type in NVM-ls, or I think it's NVM-ls. So now it shows me all the versions of Node that I have on here. So I don't have anything other than the system node. So that's the original thing that I installed from Node.js. But if, say for instance, if I come over to Node and I want to install another, another version of Node. Say I want to install Node version 10. Say for instance, so if we go to, how do we see this? If we go to the change log, and we come up here and we see all the LTS versions. So say for instance, I want to install version 10, and I want to install version 10.10. So all I do is go NVM install 10.10.0, and it will go ahead and install it, download it, and install it for me. Boom. And now it's going to default that as that's the default version. Now, if I do NVM again, ls, now as you can see, my default is going to be NVM and not the system. And it's going to set everything else as defaults. Don't worry about these iOS and IO.js and the unstable thing. That's really not important right now. And so if I close out my terminal, this is very important, and I reopen it, and I do an NVM ls, it still has system as my the version that I installed as my default. So if I want to change my default to the system, which I do, I want to go NVM alias default system. Okay, so now if I type in NVM ls, oh, that should have been NVM use. So let me do that. NVM use system. Okay, so now if I do NVM ls, it is using the system and the default system. So if I close that and I open it back up, I go NVM ls, it might be defaulted still to the node. So it is to the system. So boom, and then I can do, if I want to get rid of 10, I can, but it's also stable and all that stuff. But this is what you want. So I have it set to system. So that's where I wanted to set it. And then, like I said, you can switch to versions. You can install versions. And if you want to see all the versions that NVM has access to, you can go NVM ls-remote and NVM. Let me look on NVM's site. Here we go. So if you want to look at the different versions, LS, ITS, and I'm focusing on Node for a reason, because Node is you can't do anything without Node. So where are we at? Let's look at some. So this is a good thing that you have to have patience in doing all this. So get installed, usage. Let's go to usage. So to download, so it's giving you everything. Yeah, NV. Oh, I just didn't concatenate or combine. So NVM LS remote. So this will tell you every version that's on there that you can install. So as you can see, these are all the versions you can install from NVM. So we've got that done, and then you can just use Node, and that's going to just use the default version that you have, and then just go through it and like I said, and the most important thing, if you want to know what version of Node you're doing, just run Node-v, and it'll tell you. So we're using the current version of Node. Now that we have that, now we can install React. Now, it's going to give you a whole bunch of ways to do it, trying it and all that, and then tutorials and all that. And then it has all these ways that you can do it with Create React App and all these ways. We're going to use Create React. We're going to go ahead and do it this way. And then, I'll show you how it works. But this is the Create React App repo. It's the same thing that you just saw, and it does the same thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create it here on my desktop, because I don't want to create it in my home directory. And if you want to know what your home directory is, this is your home directory. And if you really want to know, pwd, this is my home directory. So if I go open dot, this is my home directory. So as you can see down here at the bottom, this is my home directory. So I don't want this to be anything spectacular. As you can see, these same directories are these same directories right here. So I want to go to the desktop so I can create this sample app on the desktop, and then I'm going to show you how to set up your product, your structure, so that you can just build React app after React app after React app. So let me run the command cd and then type in desk and then hit tab to complete that to desktop. And I'm going to, yes, allow that. So I'm on the desktop, and then I'm going to go ahead, and you can either copy it on the Create React App repo, or over here on Facebook's, well, not Facebook's, React's page. React is built by Facebook, you guys. So, and then I'm just going to go, and the name of the app is My App. So let me zoom in on that. So the name of the app is going to be My App, and NPX is automatically installed when you install the latest version of Node from version 10 and well, they say version 8 and up. So they're letting you know. So I don't have to worry about installing NPX. So I go NPX, or I copy that in, and then Create React App, and it's going to do everything that I need it to do. And so you're going to see a directory appear over here, like right there. And it's doing all the fetching and downloading and installing. If you've ever used Node, I would encourage you to brush up on your Node tutorials. Of course, I'm going to be dipping in and out of, showing you the ins and outs of Node, but that's not my focus on this course. This is basically, hey, this is how we're going to build React applications. And this is the easiest way to get yourself up and running. There's manual ways to get yourself up on on React applications, and I'll show you that later on. But again, we're about results. Hey, what's the fastest way to get us to start writing code and developing and having something going? So this is taking longer than I really thought it would take. And I have a brand new Mac. I actually have a Mac, one of those new Macs that's 32 gigs. So of RAM. So, and it's a i7 processor and all that crap. So I don't know why this is taking that long, but maybe it's just because this is just the first time it's going on my machine. So while that's doing that, I do want to say, if you're not interested in doing all this, as far as Node and all that, I'm going to give you links to uninstall Node to show you how to uninstall with these two documents. So this is how do you uninstall NVM, and how do you install actually Node on your machine if you use Brew, or you just do it from the regular download. So those things will be coming, and then I'm going to get into the importance of using GitHub and version control and all that in the next video. But we're gonna finish this up by definitely going over showing you what a React app actually looks like. So we're almost done. We're almost done. And the last thing is, and I'm going to also give you this shell script in the video also. So we're about to wrap up this video by finally running our React app after it gets installed, which is right. This part shouldn't take that long. Right now. Right now. Boom. So it's giving you instructions of what you need to do. The first thing you need to do is to go into copy this command right here. Just go into, or just read it and just go in. So we're going to go into this folder right here, this directory right here, my app, and you can name it anything you want to name it. And see the colorization. This is Git, and we're going to get into Git in the second video. And then we're going to just run this command called npm start. So run this command right here, and it's going to start our development server. You might need to do some permission stuff, but as it's starting up, and then I'm going to drag this over to the screen, and your Node app, your React app should look like this. So, and it's even telling you how to do it. So I'm just gonna show you how dynamic React is. And so one more thing. So the other important tool that you need is Visual Studio Code. This is the code editor that we're gonna be using. So I'm gonna put this in here, and I already have it downloaded and installed. And Visual Studio Code is real easy to get started with. So I'm gonna shrink this a little bit, and I'm just gonna drag this folder. I'm gonna get rid of the welcome screen. I'm just gonna drag this folder in, and now we have everything going on. So what it is saying again is go ahead in our source app.js and edit this and save and reload. So let's do that. So, and I'm going to show you all the extensions that you need and all that. So let's go into source app.js, and let's say save and refresh. So let's do this. Let's do save and refresh. So refresh, just to show you how easy it is to do this in Learn React with Amin Ra. All right. So we go back, and it's automatically updates. See, Learn React with Amin Ra and refresh. So this is how easy it is to build dynamic single page applications using React. And I know I was a little long-winded, but again, you guys, I haven't done a YouTube video in probably over a year. So just be patient with me. I've been on here since 2009, so I'm not a rookie at this, but we're going to really dive into getting started with React. And we're going to build some good applications, blogging systems. We're going to build shopping carts, we're going to do just all kinds of great things and even real websites. So I'll see you in the next video. And again, this is an introduction to React by Amin Ra.